Hey guys, I'm Ashley and this is Chip Builds, and today we're going to make the Price is Right wheel. To cut out these two circles, I'm using a jig from Rockler that is specifically to cut out circles. I am using a fixed base router here, even though it is recommended that you use a plunge router, but I'm only doing this because I'm only cutting the outside circle and I'm not inset into the wood trying to cut a circle. If you were to do that using the fixed base router, you would definitely have to drill a hole with a drill so that it's safe. This jig is really easy to use and it made cutting these circles so easy. I'm using a half sheet of plywood, and what I did was just found the center, tapped a little hole for the middle to go in, and went to town. Next, I cut some 12-inch strips of 1/8 inch plywood for the outside of the circle. I used a 1 1/4 inch forstner bit to drill out a hole for the pole. Alright, so to turn these two circular pieces into the 3D wheel that's going to spin, I cut these 11-inch blocks of 2x4s down, and I'm just going to pre-drill them. And I've already drilled some holes into the circles themselves, and hopefully by pre-drilling I won't split the wood, and then hopefully it's going to be strong enough that this thing spins. So let's try it out. Trying to wrap around this thin plywood was really hard and challenging, and so what I did was I would just bend it as much as I possibly could, hoping it wouldn't break, and I pre-drilled a bunch of holes and put a few screws in, but I still got tear out, and then finished it off with the brad nailer. Okay, so this is a section that I had to close up because the pieces I used to wrap the whole wheel weren't quite the right length. I could have measured that beforehand, but I didn't. So what I did is I cut a small piece and then I put some brad nails in and a couple screws so that I wouldn't pop out, because when I tried to use just the brad nails, the wood didn't want to stay and it kept pulling up. So what I've done is I put some staples to connect the two halves, and what I'll do is I will put strips there for when the wheel is spinning for it to stop, to hit the stopper. So that will kind of cover this mistake that I made. So we'll see. Hopefully it turns out okay. We'll find out. I used wood filler to cover all the nail holes. Once the wood filler was dry, I sanded everything down to 220 grit and then prepped it for painting. I'm using black Rust-Oleum spray paint to paint the whole thing black. I drilled out a hole for the wheel to sit in. I'm making the base out of 2x4s, and here I'm just cutting various 45-degree angles on pieces to add support to the base. I mostly used 2-inch screws for the base, but for some pieces I had to use pocket holes. The base was pretty snugly fit, so I had to use a hammer to pound in some of these pieces. I'm not sure if this piece in the middle is necessary, but I just figured it would help give it more support since it's sort of heavy, since it's made out of plywood and 2x4s. The wheel wasn't moving so freely, so I cut out little sections with a jigsaw. I used metallic spray paint for the dividers on the wheel. I measured each section 11.5 inches, and then I would put some super glue on these dividers and then put a couple brad nails in it to hold it down. I asked my sister to help me paint it, and we used these stencils to paint on the 100. This was almost done. I had to try it out, and the intern Elsa decided she needed to see it too. I attached a 25-inch piece of wood to the side of this to work as the marker for what prize it landed on, and the triangle was cut out of a piece of acrylic. We used hot glue to attach the game pieces to the wheel, that way we can change them out in the future. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked the video, please like it and consider subscribing to my channel. But this definitely was not an easy build. A lot of it I just guessed on, like the math and everything. I'll probably do like a written tutorial to try to make up for some of that. But let me know what you think about it down in the comments, or how you would do it differently. So thanks for watching. Bye.
We invite you, Cadet Alini Posner,
Welcome, Cadet Alini. Are you excited to be here. Very excited to be here. Woo! So you are going to be representing section 1.